Have you ever thought your hygiene routine was spotless, only to be caught off guard by a lingering odor? Are you using all the right products, yet still noticing that old person smell sneaks up when you least expect it? Could the answer lie in a few simple habits you've overlooked for years? Many older women face this silent, often embarrassing issue: unpleasant body odor that seems to persist despite regular hygiene. But here's the truth. It's not just about taking a shower or using perfume. As our bodies age, everything from skin texture to hormone levels changes. That means the routines we followed for decades may no longer work the way they used to. In today's video, we'll explore what's really causing that unexpected smell and why it's more common than you think. You'll learn how natural skin folds, behind the ears, under the breasts, or around the belly, create warm, moist environments that are perfect for bacteria and fungi to thrive. These hidden areas are often skipped in a quick shower, which leads to odor buildup even when we think we've cleaned thoroughly. I'll never forget the day it happened to me. It was a sunny afternoon at my granddaughter's garden party. Children were laughing, I was handing out cupcakes, and everything felt joyful, until I noticed an unpleasant scent. At first, I blamed the nearby compost pile, but as I moved, the smell followed. It hit me with a quiet horror. It was me. That morning, I'd rushed through my shower and missed a few key spots. The embarrassment was real, but so was the lesson. Dermatologists emphasize that as we age, it's crucial to pay special attention to these moisture-prone areas. Use a soft, clean washcloth or gentle loofah. Choose a fragrance-free, pH-balanced cleanser with ingredients like glycerin or ceramides to help hydrate while cleansing. Avoid harsh scrubs that irritate mature skin. And remember, drying off completely, especially in skin folds, is just as important as washing. Pat gently with a soft towel to prevent irritation, and leave no room for bacteria to settle in. Want a little extra help in the summer? A light dusting of cornstarch-based powder under the breasts or in creases can absorb moisture and keep you fresh without clogging pores. Or try a soothing cream with zinc oxide if your skin is sensitive. Make it a daily ritual, not a rushed routine. If needed, place a timer in your bathroom or use a small stool to make reaching those tricky areas easier and safer. Ladies, staying fresh isn't about vanity. It's about dignity, confidence, and caring for the incredible body that's carried you through life. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace, always. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more insights like these. Instead of feeling like you're wandering the Sahara without a canteen, dehydration in older adults often shows up in quieter, more deceptive ways. It may not hit like a wall of thirst, but rather seep in as subtle energy dips, creeping brain fog, unexplained irritability, or that familiar, heavy-lidded sensation, when your eyes start to close mid-conversation and you can't quite figure out why. Sometimes there's even a strange haze of confusion that seems to settle in without warning. What's going on behind the scenes? When the body lacks proper hydration, your blood becomes slightly thicker. That forces your heart to pump harder to circulate it. Your brain, in turn, doesn't get the oxygen-rich blood flow it needs, causing sluggish thinking, like you're trying to walk through quicksand with your thoughts. A story I read on a health forum brought this to life in a powerful way. A woman shared her worry about her 78-year-old mother, who kept drifting off during the day, falling asleep mid-sentence or losing focus during meals. The family feared the worst, suspecting early dementia or a more serious neurological issue. After weeks of testing and appointments, the surprising cause turned out to be something far simpler: chronic, mild dehydration. Her mother simply wasn't drinking enough water. Not even close. Once they started a simple hydration routine, encouraging her to take small, steady sips throughout the day, the difference was dramatic. Her alertness returned, her mood lifted, and the family felt like they had their mother back. It was a transformation that didn't come from medication or therapy, but from water. Now I know what you might be thinking. Many older adults deliberately reduce their water intake to avoid constant bathroom trips. I hear this often in my clinic. And yes, no one wants to feel like they're tethered to the nearest restroom all day long. But here's the truth. Hydration doesn't mean gulping down a full bottle all at once. It's about pacing yourself. Small, thoughtful sips, spread evenly through the day. Keep a favorite glass or a sleek, reusable water bottle nearby. Make it your sidekick. If plain water doesn't excite you, try sprucing it up. Add a slice of lemon, a sprig of mint, or a splash of tart cranberry juice. Treat it like a spa-worthy refreshment. I once read about a woman in her 70s who lovingly called her infused water her elixir of life. She kept a tall, chilled pitcher in her fridge and drank from it like a cherished ritual. A small shift, but it made hydration joyful again. Let's be honest, sometimes it's not the big things, but these tiny changes that hold the most power. She described her infused water as a little indulgence that made hydration feel luxurious. And you know what? That's exactly the right mindset, making wellness enjoyable. Now, the big question is, how much water is enough? As a general rule of thumb, aim for about half your body weight in ounces each day. For example, if you weigh around 150 pounds, that's roughly 75 ounces of water. But remember, this is just a starting point. Factors like your level of physical activity, the weather, medications, or underlying conditions can all influence your ideal intake. If you're unsure, especially if you have kidney problems or heart conditions, it's always wise to ask your doctor for personalized advice. The rewards of staying well hydrated speak for themselves. Less of that sluggish afternoon crash, clearer thinking, and even an uplifted mood. Your skin may appear more radiant, your energy more steady, and your body will quietly thank you in countless ways. Now let's shift gears and talk about a habit many of us fall into without realizing the toll it takes, sitting too much and confusing it with real rest. Here's a surprising paradox that catches a lot of older adults off guard. You might spend most of the day doing what seems like nothing, maybe lounging in your favorite armchair, flipping through channels, scrolling your phone, or enjoying the birds out the window. And yet, by early evening, you feel completely drained, as if you'd spent the whole day hauling heavy boxes. It doesn't quite add up, does it? But actually, it does. The real problem lies in mistaking stillness for rest. True rest, like a rejuvenating nap or a moment of quiet meditation, recharges you. But long stretches of inactivity? That's a different story. When you remain sedentary for extended periods, your blood flow slows down, your muscles tighten, and your joints begin to creak like an old cabin floor. Your body interprets this lack of movement as a signal to conserve energy, switching into a low-power mode. So what happens? You feel worn out. Not because you've overexerted yourself, but because you've done too little. It's a sneaky cycle. The less you move, the more fatigued you become, and the less you feel like moving. I recall reading about a retired man in his 60s who stumbled onto a clever solution. He made a rule for himself. Every time a commercial came on during his favorite TV shows, he'd get up and move. Maybe just a stretch, a few steps in place, or even a silly dance if the music was right. He said those few minutes gave him more energy than his morning coffee. And he wasn't exaggerating. Science confirms it. Even gentle movement improves circulation, delivers more oxygen to your muscles, and tells your brain to perk up. And here's the beauty of it. You don't have to. You don't need to join a gym or lift heavy weights. What truly matters is making small, intentional movements throughout your day. It can be as simple as walking out to the mailbox, doing a few arm circles while waiting for the kettle to whistle, or standing up during your phone calls. These seemingly minor actions help prevent your body from slipping into what I like to call hibernation mode. And if you're thinking, but I love my cozy chair, believe me, I hear you. It's not about abandoning comfort. It's about adding gentle movement in small doses, enough to keep your body's engine humming. You could set a timer to stand up and stretch every 30 to 60 minutes. Or tie movement to something you already do, like walking a lap around the living room before each meal, or standing up during TV commercials. One woman shared that she began gardening just 10 minutes a day. Nothing strenuous, just pulling weeds, planting herbs, but it completely changed her energy. Not only did she feel more physically awake, but her mood noticeably lifted too. So, the next time you feel exhausted after a day of doing nothing, try adding just a little something. You don't need to wear yourself out. You just need to gently nudge your body back into motion, like waking it from a soft sleep. Sometimes, it's the smallest steps that make the biggest difference. Now, if you're still with me and finding these insights useful, please take a moment to comment the number 1 below. That helps me know you're still engaged and learning alongside me. Thank you for spending your precious time here. Let's move on to something many people don't even realize is draining them: silent stress. It's one of the most overlooked sources of fatigue, especially in older adults. You see, stress doesn't always crash in like a thunderstorm. It can arrive quietly, like a low background hum that never goes away. It doesn't always look like racing thoughts or a pounding heart. Sometimes it's just a heaviness, a vague tension you carry with you without ever acknowledging it. And in our later years, this kind of silent stress becomes surprisingly common. It might come from retirement, from the subtle grief of losing a sense of purpose. It might come from changes in your health, or from the long, echoing quiet of an emptier home. The tricky part is, it's so woven into your day-to-day life that you may not even recognize it as stress. I remember a story from a woman in a senior wellness group. She was puzzled by her persistent exhaustion. "I'm retired. The house is paid off. The kids are grown. What on earth do I have to be tired about?" she asked, half laughing. But after a thoughtful pause, she began to list her worries. Fear of her health declining, anxiety about possibly outliving her savings, embarrassment over forgetting names or appointments, and underneath it all, a lingering sense of loneliness she hadn't named out loud before. That, my friends, is silent stress. Quiet, constant, and incredibly draining. It's like carrying around an invisible backpack filled with heavy bricks, only you don't even realize how much it's weighing you down. Your body doesn't distinguish between stress that screams at you, like a looming deadline, and stress that whispers, like quiet fears about health or the future. It reacts the same way every time, by releasing cortisol, tightening your muscles, disturbing your sleep, and draining your energy bit by bit. It's as if your body is running in low power mode, slowly being depleted without a warning sign flashing red. Over time, this kind of chronic, low-grade stress becomes exhausting. Even if your days look calm from the outside, you may feel like you're running on empty. And the tricky part? You can carry this stress for years without ever labeling it as such. But here's the silver lining. You don't have to erase all stress from your life to feel better. Let's be honest, no one lives stress-free. But you can reduce its grip on your body. Sometimes, it starts with simply acknowledging it. Talking to someone you trust, whether it's a close friend, a licensed therapist, or even just writing your thoughts in a notebook, helps to release the tension. One particularly clever woman I read about had a simple but powerful ritual. Each night, she wrote down every worry on a slip of paper, folded it carefully, and placed it into what she called her worry vault, a plain shoebox she kept by her bedside. She told herself, "That's tomorrow's problem," and let it go for the night. She swore it helped her sleep more soundly than any sleep aid she had ever tried. There are other approaches too. Mindfulness techniques like deep breathing, short meditations, or even just pausing for a moment to be present can help tremendously. Many free apps now guide you step by step, even if you're brand new to the practice. Others find movement to be the best medicine. I met a man in his 70s who began volunteering at a local animal shelter. He said the simple joy of spending time with dogs helped push his financial worries to the back burner. He felt needed, useful, and alive again. Whatever the method, the goal is to give your mind a break, even a brief one. When you start to release that quiet stress, you might be amazed at how much lighter you feel, both mentally and physically. Now, let's talk about something else that might be silently stealing your energy. Your diet. Food is your body's fuel, but not all fuel burns clean. Many people naturally reach for comforting, familiar foods, especially in later years. Things like a bowl of cereal at night, toast with jam in the morning, or a muffin with their cup of coffee. These choices feel easy and nostalgic, but they can actually be major energy traps. Foods packed with simple carbohydrates and sugars, like white bread, sweet snacks, or even rice cakes that seem healthy, cause your blood sugar to spike quickly. That surge gives you a short burst of energy, but it doesn't last. Soon after, your blood sugar crashes, leaving you feeling groggy, drained, and in desperate need of another nap. One man shared a story that will sound familiar to many. Every morning, he ate 2 slices of white toast with strawberry jam and a banana. It felt like a sensible breakfast, but by 10 a.m., he was dozing off in his recliner while the TV blared in the background. He assumed it was just a part of aging, until his doctor explained that his breakfast was essentially a sugar bomb. That quick blood sugar spike followed by a steep crash was sabotaging his energy levels. So he made a simple change. Instead of white toast and jam, he chose whole grain bread, added a hard-boiled egg, and swapped the sugary spread for some mashed avocado. Within days, his mid-morning crashes disappeared, and he felt more alert and steady throughout the day. Another common dietary misstep, especially among older adults, is clinging to outdated advice from decades ago, like the idea that fat is the enemy. Many still reach for low-fat. Many people still reach for fat-free snacks, like plain crackers or low-fat yogurt, thinking they're making healthier choices. But the truth is, healthy fats are not the enemy. In fact, they're essential. Fats found in foods like almonds, olive oil, avocado, and fatty fish help your body maintain energy longer and keep you feeling full and satisfied. Without them, you're more likely to crash quickly and feel sluggish soon after eating. Protein and fiber also play a vital role in this equation, yet they're often missing from many older adults' meals. One woman shared a simple but powerful story online. She said she used to feel drained every afternoon, until she made one small change. She started adding a handful of almonds and a slice of cheese to her lunch. Her words? "It's such a small change, but I feel like I got a decade of energy back." That's how much of a difference balanced nutrition can make. So why do so many people skip the nutrients that truly support energy? Often, it comes down to convenience. Foods that are soft, easy to chew, and quick to prepare become the go-to choices, especially if someone has dental issues or struggles with appetite. But easy doesn't always mean nourishing. To keep your energy steady and avoid those post-meal crashes, aim to build your meals around real nourishment. That means including good quality proteins like eggs, chicken, or beans. Pair them with fiber-rich vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Even small swaps can add up. Instead of sugary cereal, try Greek yogurt topped with berries. Or add a side of hummus and carrot sticks to your afternoon snack. These tweaks don't require a complete overhaul. They just require intention. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons valuable, please comment number 2 below. It lets me know you're still here, learning with me, and I truly appreciate your time. Now let's talk about another hidden culprit that drains energy as we age. Poor sleep. You might assume that if you're in bed for 8 hours, you're getting good rest. But if you wake up feeling like you've been hit by a freight train, chances are you're not getting deep sleep. And that's a game changer. Deep sleep, also called slow wave sleep, isn't just about closing your eyes. It's the phase when your body does the real work, healing tissues, restoring energy reserves, and processing memories. Without it, even if you've technically slept, you're running on fumes. Here's where things get tricky. Many seniors say they sleep just fine, but when you dig deeper, the picture looks different. Tossing and turning through the night, waking multiple times to use the restroom, or lying in bed in a dreamless, shallow sleep. It all keeps your brain from dipping into those deeper, restorative stages. One person on a sleep forum captured it perfectly. They said, "I've slept with the TV on for years because I can't stand silence, but I always wake up exhausted." The real issue? That flickering light and background noise from the TV send mixed signals to your brain. Instead of encouraging relaxation, they stimulate alertness, keeping your brain active when it should be winding down. Studies have shown that blue light exposure, even from a TV or phone screen, suppresses melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. When melatonin is disrupted, your sleep cycle can be thrown completely off balance. But it's not just screens. Several other hidden culprits might be preventing you from reaching deep, restorative sleep. Chronic pain from conditions like arthritis or neuropathy can keep your nervous system on high alert, making it difficult to fully relax. Your body remains tense, even as you lie in bed, which stops you from sinking into those vital sleep stages. Then there's anxiety, worry about health, money, or loved ones, that can trap you in a frustrating loop of restless, shallow dozing. And let's not forget blood sugar fluctuations, especially common among older adults. When your blood sugar drops too low during the night, your body responds by releasing adrenaline, which can jolt you awake or keep you in a light sleep. Let me share the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian. She spent years waking up 5 or 6 times a night, thinking it was just a normal part of aging. But one day, a friend suggested she try using a white noise machine to mask random sounds and take a small dose of magnesium to help relax her body. Skeptical at first, but tired of being exhausted, she gave it a shot. Within a few weeks, she noticed something surprising. She began dreaming again. Not just random dreams, but vivid, detailed dreams, something she hadn't experienced in decades. That's often a telltale sign your brain is finally cycling through REM and deep sleep stages. Margaret told me, "I had forgotten what it felt like to wake up and feel truly rested." Magnesium, as it turns out, is well supported by research. It helps relax muscles, calms the nervous system, and promotes the production of GABA, a neurotransmitter that helps the brain shift into a more tranquil state for sleep. So, what can you do to support deeper sleep? Start by optimizing your sleep environment. Keep your bedroom cool. Around 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal, quiet, and completely dark. Blackout curtains can block outside light, and a white noise machine can help create a steady sound environment to reduce disruptions. Next, be mindful of your screen time. Try to avoid using phones, tablets, or watching TV at least 1 hour before bed. This gives your brain the signal it needs to begin producing melatonin naturally. You can also explore supplements, but always talk to your doctor first. Magnesium citrate or glycinate, at doses between 200 to 400 milligrams, may be helpful. Other nutrients like glycine have also shown promise in promoting better rest. Finally, don't overlook the importance of addressing any underlying issues. If pain, anxiety, or frequent trips to the bathroom are keeping you up, talk to your healthcare provider. Targeted approaches such as physical therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, or bladder-friendly strategies can make a significant difference. Remember, deep sleep isn't a luxury. It's a vital part of feeling fully alive. When you prioritize sleep quality over just clocking in hours, it's like charging your body to 100% instead of settling for 50%. When your body is limping along at only 15% of its full energy, it's time to consider what might be missing from your daily life. One common yet overlooked cause? You're not spending enough time outdoors. If your days are mostly spent indoors, whether reading, watching TV, or even just doing chores, then you might be unknowingly depriving yourself of one of nature's simplest and most powerful energy boosters: sunlight and fresh air. This isn't just about getting some fresh air, like our grandmothers used to say. It's about syncing your internal body clock, recharging essential biological processes, and reconnecting with the rhythm of the outside world. Your body relies on a circadian rhythm, a natural 24-hour cycle that's heavily influenced by light exposure. When you step outside in the morning sun, your brain receives a strong signal to increase serotonin production. That's the feel-good chemical that helps you stay alert and uplifted during the day. Later, as the sun sets, that same light exposure helps convert serotonin into melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to wind down and rest. But what happens when you stay indoors, surrounded by dim lamps or artificial lights? Your brain becomes confused. The signals get scrambled, leading to low energy, poor sleep, and even dips in your mood. According to a 2023 study published in Nature, older adults with limited exposure to daylight had more disrupted circadian rhythms. The result? Increased fatigue, reduced alertness, and even cognitive decline. And that's not all. There's also the matter of vitamin D, often nicknamed the sunshine vitamin. The National Institutes of Health reports that up to 70% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D. Why? Because aging skin doesn't produce it as efficiently from sunlight, and people tend to spend more time inside as they grow older. But here's the issue. Low vitamin D has been linked to fatigue, muscle weakness, a depressed mood, and even weakened immune function. It's a domino effect that starts quietly but can have serious consequences. Add to that the emotional weight of staying indoors all the time, the lack of human interaction, the absence of new scenery, the stillness. It can leave you feeling isolated, drained, even disconnected from life itself. One man shared on a health forum how he made a tiny change that brought a surprising transformation. Every morning, he started sitting on his porch for just 15 minutes with a warm cup of coffee. No phone, no distractions, just him, the sunlight, and the sound of birds in the background. Within a week, he noticed he was waking up easier. His mind felt clearer. His energy returned like a long-lost friend. That simple act of stepping outside became his daily ritual, a small moment that turned into a major turning point. That simple habit of sitting outside gave his body exactly what it needed: natural light cues to realign his circadian rhythm and a healthy dose of vitamin D without supplements. But the benefits of being outdoors go far beyond biology. There's something deeply grounding about feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, listening to the rustle of leaves, or watching squirrels chase each other through the trees. These tiny, often overlooked moments remind you that life is still moving, still vibrant, and most importantly, that you are still very much a part of it. Even if you only have a few minutes a day, small doses of outdoor time can offer significant mental and physical benefits. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes daily. Step outside, sit on your porch, take a slow stroll down the sidewalk, or even tend to a few plants in your garden. Morning light is especially powerful when it comes to resetting your internal clock. It gently nudges your brain into wakefulness and sets the stage for better sleep later at night. To maximize your body's natural vitamin D production, try exposing your arms and face to sunlight without sunscreen for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on your skin tone and your local climate. After that, be sure to apply sunscreen to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. If mobility is an issue, don't worry. There are still ways to enjoy the benefits. Simply sitting by an open window with sunlight pouring in, or placing a chair near the garden where you can breathe in the fresh air, can still provide a meaningful impact. And here's a tip to make it more enjoyable. Combine your time outdoors with something you love. Play soft music, bring along a book, sip a cup of tea, or just watch the birds flutter by. Think of nature as your body and mind's universal charger. Plug into it daily, and over time, you'll feel a real difference in your energy and mood. Next, be mindful of your screen time. Try to avoid using phones, tablets, or watching TV at least 1 hour before bed. This gives your brain the signal it needs to begin producing melatonin naturally. You can also explore supplements, but always talk to your doctor first. Magnesium citrate or glycinate, at doses between 200 to 400 milligrams, may be helpful. Other nutrients like glycine have also shown promise in promoting better rest. Finally, don't overlook the importance of addressing any underlying issues. If pain, anxiety, or frequent trips to the bathroom are keeping you up, talk to your healthcare provider. Targeted approaches such as physical therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, or bladder-friendly strategies can make a significant difference. Remember, deep sleep isn't a luxury. It's a vital part of feeling fully alive. When you prioritize sleep quality over just clocking in hours, it's like charging your body to 100% instead of settling for 50%. When your body is limping along at only 15% of its full energy, it's time to consider what might be missing from your daily life. One common yet overlooked cause? You're not spending enough time outdoors. If your days are mostly spent indoors, whether reading, watching TV, or even just doing chores, then you might be unknowingly depriving yourself of one of nature's simplest and most powerful energy boosters: sunlight and fresh air. This isn't just about getting some fresh air, like our grandmothers used to say. It's about syncing your internal body clock, recharging essential biological processes, and reconnecting with the rhythm of the outside world. Your body relies on a circadian rhythm, a natural 24-hour cycle that's heavily influenced by light exposure. When you step outside in the morning sun, your brain receives a strong signal to increase serotonin production. That's the feel-good chemical that helps you stay alert and uplifted during the day. Later, as the sun sets, that same light exposure helps convert serotonin into melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to wind down and rest. But what happens when you stay indoors, surrounded by dim lamps or artificial lights? Your brain becomes confused. The signals get scrambled, leading to low energy, poor sleep, and even dips in your mood. According to a 2023 study published in Nature, older adults with limited exposure to daylight had more disrupted circadian rhythms. The result? Increased fatigue, reduced alertness, and even cognitive decline. And that's not all. There's also the matter of vitamin D, often nicknamed the sunshine vitamin. The National Institutes of Health reports that up to 70% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D. Why? Because aging skin doesn't produce it as efficiently from sunlight, and people tend to spend more time inside as they grow older. But here's the issue. Low vitamin D has been linked to fatigue, muscle weakness, a depressed mood, and even weakened immune function. It's a domino effect that starts quietly but can have serious consequences. Add to that the emotional weight of staying indoors all the time, the lack of human interaction, the absence of new scenery, the stillness. It can leave you feeling isolated, drained, even disconnected from life itself. One man shared on a health forum how he made a tiny change that brought a surprising transformation. Every morning, he started sitting on his porch for just 15 minutes with a warm cup of coffee. No phone, no distractions, just him, the sunlight, and the sound of birds in the background. Within a week, he noticed he was waking up easier. His mind felt clearer. His energy returned like a long-lost friend. That simple act of stepping outside became his daily ritual, a small moment that turned into a major turning point. That simple habit of sitting outside gave his body exactly what it needed: natural light cues to realign his circadian rhythm and a healthy dose of vitamin D without supplements. But the benefits of being outdoors go far beyond biology. There's something deeply grounding about feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, listening to the rustle of leaves, or watching squirrels chase each other through the trees. These tiny, often overlooked moments remind you that life is still moving, still vibrant, and most importantly, that you are still very much a part of it. Even if you only have a few minutes a day, small doses of outdoor time can offer significant mental and physical benefits. Aim for 10 to 15 minutes daily. Step outside, sit on your porch, take a slow stroll down the sidewalk, or even tend to a few plants in your garden. Morning light is especially powerful when it comes to resetting your internal clock. It gently nudges your brain into wakefulness and sets the stage for better sleep later at night. To maximize your body's natural vitamin D production, try exposing your arms and face to sunlight without sunscreen for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on your skin tone and your local climate. After that, be sure to apply sunscreen to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. If mobility is an issue, don't worry. There are still ways to enjoy the benefits. Simply sitting by an open window with sunlight pouring in, or placing a chair near the garden where you can breathe in the fresh air, can still provide a meaningful impact. And here's a tip to make it more enjoyable. Combine your time outdoors with something you love. Play soft music, bring along a book, sip a cup of tea, or just watch the birds flutter by. Think of nature as your body and mind's universal charger. Plug into it daily, and over time, you'll feel a real difference in your energy and mood. If you're still watching this video and finding these health lessons helpful, please take a moment to comment the number 3 below. It means a lot to know you're following along with me. Thank you for sharing your time. Now, let's look at another critical but often overlooked factor. You're running low on vital nutrients. You might be sticking to the same healthy meals you've always trusted. But here's the catch. As we get older, our bodies don't absorb nutrients as efficiently. So even if your diet hasn't changed, the impact it has on your energy levels might have. Key nutrients like vitamin B12, vitamin D, iron, and magnesium play a direct role in how energized or fatigued you feel throughout the day. When these levels drop, even slightly, you may start experiencing cloudy thinking, muscle weakness, poor concentration, and that lingering sense of heaviness, as if every step requires more effort than it should. And the tricky part? These deficiencies often develop silently, without dramatic symptoms at first. Sometimes what we assume is just the normal wear and tear of aging is actually your body waving a red flag. Take Robert, a 68-year-old man who felt like he was trudging through mud every single day. For months, he chalked it up to just getting older. But his daughter, concerned by his constant fatigue, convinced him to get some blood work done. The results were eye-opening. He was significantly deficient in vitamin B12, vitamin D, and iron. After a few months of targeted supplements and simple dietary changes, like switching to fortified cereals and adding lean meats, he described the shift in his body as if someone had flipped a switch. "It's like someone turned the lights back on," he said. And Robert's story isn't rare. In fact, studies show that between 20% to 50% of older adults may be deficient in B12 alone. One major reason? As we age, our stomach produces less acid, making it harder to absorb this vital nutrient. But B12 is crucial. It's essential for healthy nerve function and the production of red blood cells. When levels drop, the effects are subtle but powerful. Fatigue, memory issues, and that frustrating mental fog that makes everyday tasks feel harder than they should. Let's break it down further. Vitamin B12 can be found in foods like meat, eggs, and fortified cereals. However, absorption becomes more difficult with age, especially for those taking acid-reducing medications. Then there's vitamin D, often referred to as the sunshine vitamin. It plays a major role in maintaining muscle strength, mood balance, and immune health. Unfortunately, it's one of the most common deficiencies in older adults. In addition to safe sun exposure, good sources include fatty fish and fortified dairy. Most doctors recommend between 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day, but always follow professional advice. Iron is another heavy hitter. It's responsible for transporting oxygen throughout the body. Low levels, which can result from reduced absorption or even small unnoticed gastrointestinal bleeding, can lead to anemia. one of the most energy-draining conditions you can experience. To increase iron naturally, consider adding more red meat, spinach, or lentils to your meals. And don't forget magnesium. This underrated mineral helps with muscle relaxation, blood sugar regulation, and sleep quality. Nuts, seeds, and leafy greens are rich in magnesium, but many older adults still fall short. In those cases, supplementation may be necessary. Here's where things get tricky. The symptoms of nutrient deficiencies often disguise themselves as normal signs of aging. Fatigue, weakness, forgetfulness, these are easy to ignore or explain away, but that doesn't mean they should be. A 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology revealed that nutrient deficiencies are frequently missed in older adults because the symptoms closely resemble age-related decline. So if you're constantly feeling drained, don't just assume it's part of growing older. Be proactive. Ask your doctor for a comprehensive blood panel to check levels of B12, vitamin D, iron, and magnesium. From there, you can make targeted adjustments. A dietitian can help you identify nutrient-rich foods that work within your lifestyle and dietary needs. And remember, supplements can be helpful, but they aren't one-size-fits-all. Only take them under medical supervision to avoid the risk of overdoing it or interacting with other medications. Think of your body like a car. Without the right fuel, it won't run smoothly. It sputters, stalls, and struggles to perform. But give it the proper nutrients, and suddenly, everything works better, from your mind to your muscles. Sometimes the key to feeling better isn't in a bottle or a diet. It's in rediscovering what makes you feel alive inside. While blood tests can uncover nutritional gaps and physical imbalances, there's another kind of depletion that doesn't show up in lab results: a loss of purpose. And for many older adults, that's what truly drains the energy from day-to-day life. This isn't about fatigue from chores or sleepless nights. It's about emotional exhaustion, the kind that creeps in quietly. As the rhythm of life changes, children grow up and leave, careers come to a close, and familiar routines vanish. Without these anchors, you might find yourself going through the motions, eating, tidying up, flipping through TV channels. But deep down, everything feels flat. You're not necessarily sad, you just don't feel much of anything. One widower put it simply but powerfully on an online forum: "I'm not sad exactly. I just don't feel much of anything." That quiet disconnection, that absence of emotional pull, can be more draining than running a marathon. Why? Because energy isn't just about your muscles or your metabolism. It's also tied to your spirit. When you wake up with something to look forward to, no matter how small, it fuels your entire being. But when there's no why pulling you forward, your whole system slows down. You're alive, but not fully living. Here's the uplifting part. Your spark isn't gone. It might be dimmed, buried under the weight of routine and years of caregiving, but it's still there, waiting to be rekindled. In fact, a 2022 study published in The Lancet confirmed that older adults who engaged in meaningful activities like volunteering, painting, or crafting reported higher daily energy and significantly lower levels of depression. One woman shared how she started painting again after a 30-year break. Her eyesight wasn't perfect, and her hands weren't as steady as they once were, but she lit up inside. "I feel like me again," she said. Another person found deep satisfaction in growing a single tomato plant. Every day, she checked on it like a proud parent. That simple act of nurturing gave her joy and a sense of connection. So how do you rediscover your spark? Start small. Think back to something you once loved: playing music, writing a few lines in a journal, gardening, knitting. Don't worry about how good you are or whether it seems productive. Give yourself just 10 minutes a day to engage in something that brings you joy. And don't forget the power of human connection. Call a friend, join a local club, or consider volunteering. Even brief interactions can lift your spirits and remind you that you matter. The people you meet, the conversations you have, the shared laughs, They can all add fuel to your emotional tank. If you're feeling stuck, try something new. Sign up for a class, pick up a new hobby, explore a community group. It's never too late to reinvent your rhythm or find delight in something unexpected. Your spark isn't behind you, it's within you, patiently waiting to be reignited. Or consider adopting a pet, something as simple as a dog, a cat, or even a bird. Novelty has a special way of waking up your brain and sparking dormant areas of the mind. It's not about a grand reinvention. Sometimes the smallest rituals carry the deepest meaning. What stirs your spirit? Is it watching the sunrise with a warm cup of coffee, or quietly tending to a few plants each morning? Even these gentle, familiar routines can ignite a renewed sense of purpose and remind you of life's beauty. Your spark is not a luxury, it's your internal battery. When you find it again, energy tends to follow naturally. You'll start to notice that you're no longer just surviving the day, but actually moving through it with more lightness and intention. Now, let's look at another silent energy thief that's more common than you might think: medication overload. If you find your bathroom cabinet overflowing with pill bottles, you're not alone. Many older adults manage several chronic conditions at once: blood pressure, cholesterol, sleep issues, arthritis, and end up taking 5, 10, or even more medications every day. But here's the catch. When too many drugs interact, it can create a web of unintended consequences, with exhaustion being one of the biggest red flags. There's even a term for it: polypharmacy, which refers to taking 5 or more medications regularly. A 2023 study, published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, revealed that nearly 30% of seniors experience adverse drug interactions, often misinterpreted as aging symptoms like brain fog, dizziness, or relentless fatigue. But the root cause? Medication conflict. One man shared that he spent months feeling like he was hungover every morning. Turned out, one medication made him drowsy, while another was designed to keep him alert. An internal tug-of-war that left him feeling disoriented and drained. Another woman described a persistent mental fog that only lifted after a pharmacist reviewed her list of prescriptions and noticed 2 medications were chemically canceling each other out. Just adjusting the dosages gave her a clarity she hadn't felt in years. Some of the most common issues include sedative effects from medications like antihistamines, antidepressants, or muscle relaxants, all of which can leave you dragging through the day. Others may rob your body of essential nutrients. For example, long-term use of drugs like metformin or acid reducers can deplete your stores of B12, magnesium, or iron, nutrients crucial for steady energy. And don't underestimate the danger of interactions. Some combinations can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, leading to dizziness and weakness. So what's the solution? Start by requesting a full medication review. Bring your entire list of prescriptions, yes, even the over-the-counter supplements, to your doctor or pharmacist, and ask them to assess for potential conflicts or unnecessary overlaps. Track your symptoms in a simple journal. When do you feel most tired? After which pill? That information is incredibly helpful. And remember, being tired all the time is not just a part of getting older. It's a signal. Sometimes, it's not about adding more things. It's about identifying and removing what's silently weighing you down. Joy isn't some grand, faraway destination. It's the invisible fuel that colors our daily lives. Without it, everything begins to feel dull and mechanical. Life becomes a series of repeated tasks: doctor appointments, folding laundry, and watching the same TV shows on loop. It's like watching your world in black and white when you know it used to be in vibrant color. One Reddit user put it so clearly: "I'm surviving, not living." That's not just fatigue. That's your soul gently reminding you that it's been running on empty. The absence of joy often takes a heavier toll than physical exhaustion. But joy doesn't have to mean something extravagant or hard to reach. Sometimes it's hidden in the simplest, silliest moments. A grandmother learning TikTok dances from her grandkids, a widower writing intentionally bad poems just to make himself laugh, or someone adopting an older cat and syncing their nap schedules. These aren't just moments of happiness, they're lifelines. A 2024 article in Psychology Today noted how joyful activities directly increase dopamine and serotonin, those brain chemicals that lift your mood and reduce fatigue. So how do we welcome more of that into our lives? Say yes to the silly. Let yourself dance in the kitchen, sing off-key at karaoke, or paint rocks with no plan or purpose. Surround yourself with joy bringers, people, pets, even places that make your heart lighter. Break your routine now and then. Eat dessert before dinner, rewatch your favorite childhood movie, or dig out that old harmonica and see if your fingers still remember a tune. Chase micro moments. Savor your morning tea, sit and watch the sunset, or simply laugh at a good joke. These small joys are not distractions, they're medicine. Joy isn't a luxury, it's your body's way of recharging. Invite it in, and you might just be amazed at how quickly your energy begins to return. Now take a breath and remember, if any of these reasons felt familiar, you're not the only one. You're not broken, and you're certainly not stuck in this tired state forever. The truth is, chronic fatigue in older adults often doesn't come from one big problem. It comes from a handful of small, fixable ones. Maybe it's light, restless sleep. Maybe you're not getting enough vitamin D. Maybe your medications are quietly clashing. Or maybe your heart just needs something to look forward to. The answer isn't a miracle pill or a radical lifestyle overhaul. It's thoughtful, gradual shifts. Start by stepping outside for 15 minutes of sunlight each day. Talk to your doctor about reviewing your medications or checking nutrient levels. Make your bedroom more sleep-friendly. And perhaps most importantly, say yes to something joyful this week. Whether it's trying a new recipe, calling a friend, or spending time with a grandchild. You deserve more than just getting through the day. You deserve to wake up feeling genuinely alive. Even one small change can be the spark that reignites your energy, one brighter, more vibrant day at a time. If this video has resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone else who might be feeling stuck in that same fog of fatigue. Because together, we're not just learning how to grow old, we're learning how to age well, joyfully, and fully. So now, I'd love to hear from you. What lesson in this video stood out to you the most? Was it the reminder to get a little more sunlight, drink more water, or reconnect with something you love? Comment below and let me know what small shift you plan to make. Your story might just be the one that inspires someone else to take that first step. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to Healthy Aging Blueprint for more simple, science-backed tips to help you live well, not just long. Wishing you great health, lasting happiness, and a peaceful heart. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.